Hello everyone, my name is Gracie Woelkers and thank you for tuning into the recording of my presentation. I'm excited to show you all my thesis work. I'd like to introduce you to the project EXIST, Existential Provocations. Existentialism is the exploration of one's own existence and has the power to provoke insight for purpose and meaning in one's life. This thesis work dives into the philosophy of existentialism by taking its intangible concepts of freedom, individuality, and authentic choice and translating it into design elements of scale and orientation, solitude, and emotion, in which experienced designers can implement into environment design to provoke existential thinking through introspection and retrospection. The subject of my thesis is existentialism, and the vehicle used throughout the exhibition is introspection. The main message here is that provocations of existential thinking can be harnessed as a portal for transformative experiences. The clients and partnerships were chosen carefully to fall under one single goal, which is to enhance an individual's quality of life through mental health and science exploration, specifically space. The clients are Psychology Today, NISCA, NSF, and NASA. The venue chosen is Bryant Park's lawn, and the goal in this is to reach an individual during their day-to-day and catch them off guard in hopes to open minds and change perspectives. Here's a general floor plan of what the exhibition would look like in Bryant Park's lawn. And my primary target audience is from the ages of 18 to 25, and this is due to the long brewing socialization crisis that is more prevalent now than ever after coming out of a pandemic, as mentioned by Discover magazine. The secondary is from the ages of 30 to 40, and the tertiary ages of 50 to 60. Here are my project experience and education goals, some being is that the project asks the visitors to reconsider and rethink who they are and their relationship with themselves and others and in relation to the world around them. Another is to harmoniously collaborate 4 different clients in one exhibition space, and also to provide moments of discovery, wonder, curiosity, and awe within my audience. So the concept of the exhibition is called Your Place in Space, while focusing on the dualities being portrayed throughout. This is done through a designed scale of micro versus macro, while also focusing on the perspectives of NASA's content, specifically from the James Webb Telescope imagery. This allows the audience to see themselves and their infinite possibilities in relation to the infinite possibilities in space exploration. An important aspect of this exhibition is social connection for my audience, and introspective questions identify each area and are shown throughout graphics. Here's my concept diagram in terms of how existential thinking can be achieved when driving a narrative throughout a space. So we begin with looking inward and coming down to disorient to orient, which is a foundation and good grounding point for the becoming and zooming out. On the left, we have fear of the unknown and the crossing over, and on the right, we have enhanced perception, the butterfly effect, and to infinity and elsewhere. This is a concept floor plan, so here we can see the placements of these concepts in the exhibition space and the sequence of those. Getting into the experience floor plan, this is split into a dual experience being introspection and retrospection. The first stage of this experience is when visitors come in and go through an introspective stage of self-reflection, which then brings them into the center area. And in exiting the center area, they're able to revisit their entire journey using a one-way mirror material. And this is allowing room for retrospective thinking while viewing others in their introspective headspace and journey. Here's an outline of the exhibition content so you can see what is to come. The structure is a pavilion-like design with a modular system for efficient install and consistency throughout the space. And here's a day-to-night visual to see what this would look like. The first concept area is called Fear of the Unknown, which asks the question, where's your place in space? So this concept is to push people outside of their own mental blocks and personal bubbles. When we first enter the exhibition, there's an information desk to give a visitor flow guidance and also a suspended graphic, which is a consistent notion throughout the space. Here's a glimpse of the visual identity. I wanted to focus here on the logo. As we can see, the I in exist is split in half, and this is referring to the mirrored experience and the dualities throughout the exhibition. Each of the key concepts are assigned their own primary color and families as well. So on the left of the entrance is an introduction video that plays on a loop, being the video shown for my thesis introduction. And here is a storyboard of those frames and also a QR code to visit at a later time. The next area is called Disorient to Orient, begging the question, where do you want to go? So this area is about displacing the visitors from the venue and repositioning them in a new headspace, and to also introduce the exhibition's communicative language. The visitors come across an installation of spheres curated of reflective film and the supporting colors from this area. And they're also shown an exoplanet and its star, which is a consistent notion throughout the exhibition and plays on the micro versus macro design. To the right of each area are transitional moving spaces, such as a void, for visitors to passively cleanse their palettes by subconsciously influencing the visitor to breathe along with the visuals. So here's a storyboard for the visuals that are projection mapped inside, mimicking a 6-second breathing pattern. Here's what the inside of these transition spaces looks like. The next area is the becoming, and this question is, how does your being hold matter? This area helps visitors to understand that they create their own reality. The message here is that our potential and our being holds power to put things in motion, acknowledging not only our influence but also our affect. Visitors can engage with 2 projected interactions in this area, one being a gravity wall that explores gravitational pulls on the back wall, and another being touch spheres that allow you to push and move galaxies, stars, etc. Next area is called the zooming out. This question is, what does home mean to you? So this area is to see things on a larger perspective. And the message is that although each individual comes from their own home, together we make up one entity in a larger system much greater than all of us. So in this area, visitors explore their personal hometown and origins by dropping a pin on their hometown, and the content, using NASA's EYES resources, visually takes them on a zooming out journey from their pin in viewing others' pins as well to beyond Earth, the solar system, and the Milky Way, and beyond. This next area is the butterfly effect, asking the question, how do you affect others? So this area is about influence and affect on everything around you. The message here is that you affect others in which you did not particularly engage with due to the butterfly effect, which visitors can reflect upon in their own lives. They engage with an object mobile kinetic sculpture that causes a ripple effect when interacted with, insignificance of the butterfly effect. The next area is the crossing over, asking, who are you for you? So this area prompts curiosity and contemplation for one's own life. Now that the visitors have explored their power, their influence, their impact, and also their origin, they can begin to open up a bit more vulnerably. They're faced with physical reflections of themselves in a room of mirrors that display graphic text, asking introspective questions for the visitors to reflect upon. The next area is looking inward, asking, what are you looking for? So this area is about being honest and transparent with yourself. After reflecting, visitors can give themselves a few answers in this area by writing in the stars what they're looking for in life through interaction with a sensory projected touch table. The centerpiece of this table is an illuminated moon, immersing visitors in the night sky to push the boundaries of environmental influence. This area is enhanced perception, which asks what makes you feel alive. So this area is about putting a face to the visitor's infinite galaxy using the medium of their own eye. They interact with digital screens that records their eye and curates a video visualizing a zoom in from their eye into their own infinite galaxy. They're then able to take this visual with them by scanning a QR code and having it sent to their phone, and they can also share it on the projected mural on the back, which visualizes a community of personal galaxies curated. This last area is to infinity and elsewhere, which reiterates the question, where's your place in space? And this is in significance and hopes that visitors have gained a deeper connection with themselves at this point. This area is about the visitor's finite versus infinite self in connection to everyone and everything else. So here is the entrance, and here is the inside, which is a 360 projected room with a borderless ceiling to imitate the boundlessness of astronomical space. This space is intended for full embodiment of one's own infinite galaxy, amongst others, and the deep field imagery projected. There are mobile sphere chairs also in this area to allow visitors to feel a floating sensation. And lastly, the visitors are able to tap into retrospective thinking. So the message here is that each and every visitor is traveling through their own galaxy and inward journey, which can be seen from this observative perspective. So in exiting, visitors get to walk through a short recap of their journey by viewing others in their own introspective journey together. And this is done through a one-way mirrored material, as said previously. Here's an emotion map and emotion diagram so you can see how they correlate and also see how the emotions that visitors go through during their introspective stage and come back down during their retrospective stage. In exiting the exhibition, visitors are left with a quote that reads, "There's a galaxy within each of us that's worth exploring." While exiting from where they came, the staff is handing out postcards that read this quote. So, in times when visitors forget or lose sight of that hope and connection, they can be reminded that they have infinite possibilities and that they make up something much larger and beautiful when standing together. And now to briefly go through the build of the structure, here are some elevations to show identified color for each areas and also the exterior branding. And this is a coded floor plan, which also can be seen in my installed physical model. I wanted to include 2 axonometric views so we can understand the build and engineering of the structure itself. So here's one of the exterior, and here's one of the interior. I also included 2 overall section cuts to point out footing and general dimensionality. And this is wayfinding of posters throughout subways and street signages, along with floor vinyl decals and interactive stanchions that visitors can actually interact with by pushing, in significance of perpetual motion surrounding the park. The duration of this exhibition is 4 months and will require staff presence in areas to give direction for interactives. An extended design portion of this thesis is proposed with Psychology Today and Global Telehealth Network. And thank you. I appreciate everyone tuning in, and I would love to hear your thoughts and comments. Thank you.